2 days ago, my husband looked me dead in the eyes and said, "The hardest part about having a baby is keeping you happy." And the worst part is, he's completely right. I literally count the seconds until I can drop my own kid off at daycare, and I just sit around wishing my husband had started a family with someone else, anyone else, so he could actually enjoy his life instead of being trapped with me.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we are looking at a super emotional and really raw post from the True Off My Chest subreddit, written by user Anna_Lena. I honestly never thought I would be the type of person writing a post like this, but I am just so desperate right now. I really need to get this off my chest. To give you some background, I never actually wanted kids. My husband didn't really care either way. He was fine with whatever happened. We were extremely happy and just ridiculously in love. Our life was completely ours. We could do whatever we wanted, whenever we wanted.
Then, I accidentally got pregnant about 2 years ago. I totally surprised myself with how genuinely excited I got about it. I guess pregnancy hormones are completely wild, because right after that huge wave of unexpected joy, I ended up having a miscarriage. It broke my heart, but it also flipped a switch in my brain. After talking it through, my husband and I decided that I would just go off birth control completely and let nature take its course. By October of that same year, I was pregnant again. But this time, that magical, happy excitement was totally gone. I was just very neutral about the whole thing. The pregnancy sucked, but I wasn't super sick or anything like that. I just wanted those long 9 months to be over so we could move on to the next chapter of our lives. When it was finally time, labor was actually totally fine. It was scheduled, the nurses at the hospital were amazing, and the epidural was perfect. Seriously, no problems at all. We brought our baby boy home at the end of July last year. In those early days, my husband and I were really honest with each other. We talked about how neither of us felt that crazy, overwhelming, deep love that you see in movies or hear other parents bragging about. But we figured it was fine. He was, and honestly still is, a super easy baby. Our day-to-day lives didn't even change that much at first. My husband and I split everything 50-50, which made the workload a total breeze. I was on maternity leave and he went back to work. But I didn't just sit around feeling trapped in the house. I made sure I went somewhere every single day. I kept up with my exercise, doing yoga and going for walks. I still ate super healthy. We still went out a lot as a couple. We have an awesome support system of friends and family, which meant lots of babysitting, regular date nights, and having friends over.
Just to add some more info, I have never been depressed in my entire life. I'm a genuinely happy, bubbly person, like 98% of the time. I really thought I had beaten the odds. I thought I had figured out the secret to easy parenting. But then, around month 5, everything just completely crashed. Out of nowhere, I started crying. A lot. And not just a few tears, but really hating every single second I spent with my baby. I think it triggered because he started moving around on his own, which meant I actually had to pay close attention to him and do things, instead of just carrying him around like a backpack. I found myself just wishing I was anywhere else but in my own life. The panic was so real. I went to the doctor because I knew something was wrong, and she prescribed me a medication called Wellbutrin. I tried so hard to fix myself. I started a gratitude journal. I tried deep meditation. I went back to work early, and my husband finished up the rest of the maternity leave.
That helped for a little bit. Going back to work stopped my massive hourly crying meltdowns because it got me out of the house. But it hasn't changed how my brain actually feels. And now I'm basically right back to where I started. I cried 4 times today alone. I absolutely hate this life. It's not hard in the way people warn you about, like losing sleep or dealing with crying fits. It's just annoying and frustrating. I feel so trapped. I literally count the seconds from when he wakes up from a nap until he can go down for another one. I cannot get out of the driveway fast enough when we have a babysitter coming over to watch him. I make sure I have something planned for every single minute of the weekend,
because the thought of staying home all day and having to entertain him just sounds awful.
The craziest part is that it's not even him. He's actually a wonderful kid. I know I sound totally insane, but I just hate the act of parenting. I also don't get the part where people say, "It's all worth it." I feel like I've ruined 2 years of my life. My body feels ruined. My brain is so foggy that I feel dumb, and it physically hurts to try and focus on anything. My finances are taking a hit, my house is a mess, and my perfect relationship is falling apart. For what?
I'm miserable 95% of the time, and I can't figure out what to do. 2 days ago, my husband looked at me, looking so exhausted, and said, "The hardest part about having a baby is keeping you happy."
And he's right. That completely broke me because I can't keep living this way, and neither can he. We still love each other like crazy, but this situation is just so toxic. I just wish he had done this with someone else, so he could actually have fun with it, instead of doing it with me, the person who is ruining it. I don't even know if I'm looking for advice, or just hoping someone out there feels the same way. Anything would help, while I just sit here, dreaming about running away.
The updates.
Hey guys, it's been 4 months, and I actually have a happy update for you. I got so many messages after my first post. Some were really supportive, and some were pretty harsh. But I appreciated all of them. It made me sad to realize how many people go through what I did without ever getting help. Anyway, a couple of days after I wrote that post, I had an appointment with a mental health clinic in my town. The nurse I spoke to was an absolute lifesaver. She listened to my whole story and told me that while the medication I was on, Wellbutrin, works for a lot of people, sometimes it does the exact opposite of what it's supposed to do. She suspected that's what was happening to me. If you're already a highly emotional and energetic person, which I am, it can severely multiply those feelings. For example, normally I'd be just slightly annoyed if the dishes weren't done. On that medication, that annoyance was amplified by 100, and it made me feel pure rage. I stopped taking it immediately. We then tried a different medication called sertraline, hoping to fix what we thought was just depression and anxiety. I was on it for about 2.5 weeks, and I felt absolutely terrible. I was nauseous, dizzy, and felt almost drunk all the time. It definitely wasn't the right fit. I stopped that one, survived for a couple of weeks, and finally got in to see an actual psychiatrist. He was amazing. We talked for almost 2 hours. He dug into my personality and diagnosed me with bipolar tendencies. He explained that I'm very energetic, impulsive, chaotic, and always seeking adventure. He prescribed me a mood stabilizer called lamotrigine instead of a normal antidepressant. Well, let me just brag for a second, because my life has done a complete 180. Everything is so much better. I can't even begin to express how much the dark cloud has lifted. I loved my baby before, but now I love the entire thing. I actually love parenting. I love our family together. I finally feel like I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. My husband and I are doing amazing, and he's so much happier now that I'm not a walking storm cloud in our house. Don't get me wrong, I still get annoyed sometimes, but it's totally normal and doesn't ruin my whole week anymore. The trial and error part of finding the right meds was so frustrating, but wow, it was worth it. Please don't give up.
Update 2, a perfect holiday Monday. I just wanted to throw one last quick update out there for anyone who ever doubts if things can get better. This morning, my husband and I woke up to the sound of little feet coming down the stairs at 7:30 a.m. Our son is 4 years old now. He went into the bathroom, took off his own pull-up, threw it in the trash, and ran into our room to snuggle. He told us he was going to go get a snack and play with his Legos. My husband and I hung out in bed for a bit, then went out to the living room to check on him. He was having a blast all by himself. We went back to our room, relaxed, and just had a super slow, peaceful morning. I jumped in the shower, my husband started breakfast, and we just seamlessly swapped out. Now we're sitting here trying to decide what to do with our free Monday. Guys, it is so easy and breezy now. We don't have anyone else to worry about. We can do whatever we want financially and schedule-wise because we only have one kid to work around. It is awesome. Community comments. Before we wrap this up, let's look at what the community had to say to Anna when she was at her absolute lowest. One person totally validated her feelings, saying, "It's really human of you to just be open about all of this, and there's nothing wrong with you at all. Parenting is like anything else in that it can be super tough on your mental health. Just being a mother sucks right now, and it's okay to just feel that. Not everyone is built for blissful parenthood, and the dark side of it isn't discussed nearly enough." Another user added some hope. "Just a reminder, this age is the absolute hardest part when they need you the most. I have a 13-month-old, and I get it completely. Take comfort in the fact that it will keep getting easier as they get more independent." And after her final update, someone wrote, "I am so glad to see this update. It's so important to keep an eye on meds for mental health since sometimes you have to go through a bunch to find the one that works for your specific brain chemistry. Keep going strong." Final thoughts. This post is just such a wild reminder of how complicated our brains really are. What looked exactly like severe postpartum depression on the surface was actually something totally different. The fact that she was misdiagnosed and given a medication that basically acted like gasoline on a fire is scary, but it happens a lot more often than people think. It takes a lot of guts to admit that you hate the life you've built, especially when society expects moms to just be instantly happy and grateful the second they have a kid. The guilt Anna felt almost destroyed her perfect marriage. But she kept pushing. She fought through the super annoying and exhausting phase of trying different medications until she found the one that actually balanced her brain chemistry. If there's one thing to take away from this, it's that you have to speak up when something feels wrong inside your head. It might take some time, but as Anna showed us, your whole life can flip around once you get the right help.